वक्रतुंड महाकाय कोटिसूर्यसमप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारंभं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा वागर्थाविव सम्पृक्तौ वागर्थप्रतिपत्तये जगतः पितरौ वन्दे पार्वती परमेश्वरौ येन अक्षरसमाम्नायम् अधिगम्य महेश्वरात् कृत्स्नं व्याकरणं प्रोक्तं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। वाक्यकारं वररुचिं भाष्यकारं पतञ्जलिं पाणिनिं सूत्रकारं च प्रणतोऽस्मि मुनित्रयम्। Okay. Second, I'll be up. Okay. Okay. All right. So we're looking into samasas for length of time now. So what we cannot afford to forget is what is samasa? It's a combination of typically two nouns related with each other in some way. And that relationship is expressed with a single word. And that is called a samasa. They are thrown together literally. Samyak, well thrown together. Asyate iti samasa. Samyak asyate iti samasa. So within samasas we saw there is a possibility of one of the words being denoted by the compound. Purvapada may be denoted by the verb. Uttarapada may be denoted, or neither of them may be denoted, or all of them may be denoted. So if it's Purvapada which is denoted, that kind of a compound is called Avyayi Bhava. If it's Uttarapada which is denoted, it is called Tatpurusa. If all of them are denoted, it is called Dvandva Samasa. And if none of them are denoted, something else is denoted, none of the words participating in the compound is denoted, that is called a Bahuvrihi. This is basics which we cannot afford to forget. Within Tatpurusha, we saw Prathama, Dvitiya, Tritiya, Panchami, etc. But not Prathama, Dvitiya, Tritiya, Panchami, Chaturthi, Panchami, Shashti, Saptami. Tatpurushas we saw. Then we looked at Samanadikarana Tatpurusha, where both are in first case. These are called Karmadharaya compounds. Basic rule is what? Two words, both in the first case, relate with each other in some way. And such compounds will be typically Visheshanam and Visheshyam. Therefore, we saw one sutra which can take care of everything really is Visheshanam, Visheshanam, Visheshyena, Bahulam. They can combine in many different ways. Problem is which word should come first. So in that context, we saw a few more rules. When Upamana will come first, when Upmeya will come first, etc. All right. And then we also saw what we called as the Madhyapada Lopi Samasa last time. When it's a Karmadharaya, but in a Karmadharaya compound, the Purvapada is Samasa. And in that Purvapada, the Uttarapada is dropped. Shaka Priyaha Parthivaha. Shaka Priya Parthivaha. In that Shaka Priya, you drop the word Priya, you get Shaka Parthivaha. This is called a Shaka Parthiva compound, Sometimes it is called Madhyamapadalopi compound. And you can say it is the Uttarapada of the Purvapada which is dropped. And these compounds can be very creative and can be very dangerous sometimes, because you can put all kinds of unintended meanings to the compound. Okay. So in the context of these, I wanted to mention, I didn't say it so clearly, and there was a question at the end of the class. I just want to make sure you all understand what is upamanam, what is upameya, etc. So I put it in your note last time. Am I sharing it right now? Yes.
Yes, Swamiji.
Okay, good. So what happened? So I just want to touch on that before we proceeded further. Yeah, almost there. So what is upamanam? Upamiyate anena iti upamanam. The standard of comparison, that with which anything is compared. Okay. So if you're comparing to tiger, then tiger will become upamanam. What is samanya vachana? A word expressing a common property which is the basis for comparison between upamana and upameya. See, many a time it need not be said. But if I say Sita's face is as beautiful as the moon, I have told the basis for comparison. Beauty is the basis for comparison. You know, it's not to say that Sita has also got a spot on her nose like the moon has got a shadow. That's not the idea. Only beauty is being compared. So basis for comparison, that word which expresses the common property with which you connect the what is compared, what is being compared, that is called samanya vachanam here. Okay, that's one more word which is very important for us. And the third one is upameya, also can be called upamita. And what is that? The subject of comparison. I mean, I'm using these words in a very loose way. Okay, what do I mean? The subject of comparison. What is being compared? You're comparing a man to a tiger, then man will become upameya or upamita. Okay, so this you keep in view. Sometimes it can be a little confusing, but what we understand here basically, when you have samanya vachanam, like here komalatvam, the softness samanyam, kusumam iva komalam, then what happens? The samanyam becomes the uttarapada. When the samanyam is there in the compound, the samanyam becomes the uttarapada in the compound. And in other time, nara vyagraha, what happens? Naraha vyagraha iva. There samanyam is not there. How a man is like a tiger is not said. In such a situation, what happens? You get naravyagra. So the upamana will become the uttarapada. So either samanyam will be uttarapada or upamana will be uttarapada. Okay. So I find examples are far more easier sometimes. No? You just say, like, you can use any of these. Right? So you can say kusumaiva komalam. All right. Or you can say vajraiva kathoram, and you keep this example. This is one kind. Another is what? Naravyagra. So if you keep those two examples in mind, then it becomes fairly easy. Purushaha simha iva, Purushaha rishabha iva, Parthivaha indraha iva. In all these, the 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 upamana becomes the uttara. Okay. All right. Then we talked of avadharana, where we are emphasizing something. Nothing special except the meaning. You add an extra word eva, which gives you an extra special, an enforced meaning for that compound. Then we saw that, words which are jati or avayava, samudaya, vishesh jati, all these can combine. Typically, where you have names, Ayodhya iti nagari, Amraha iti vrikshaha, etc. All these are also karmadharaya compounds. Madhyapadalopa we saw. And there we saw a number of examples, but don't forget the stock example. Shaka priyaha parthivaha, shaka parthiva. That You should not forget. Okay. Everything else, examples will come and go. Doesn't matter to us much. And then we saw a few more Mayur Vimsakadi, and here I told you the main thing to keep in mind is this, this Rajantaram Anya Raja that you keep in mind. This is very important for us because you'll see lots of words like this when we study. Okay. I'll give you some exercise when I have time. I've dug some up, but I'll give it to you when I have time, thinking of what else needs to be done before I give them to you. Okay. So these we saw last time, a few examples. Now we will enter. So this is a statement we have made before, but this time I just give you Tatpurusha Samadhikarana Karmadharaya. So Tatpurusha, compound, where both words have the same case, which is the first case, will be called a Karmadharaya. Okay, this sutra doesn't add much to you right now. Just mentioned it. Now we will look at something called Dvigu. What is Dvigu? Sankhya Purvo Dvigu. A compound which has a Sankhya, a number, as the first element of the compound. And there's one more condition, which actually makes the Dvigu into three kinds. So Dvigu, by the way, is also a Karmadharaya compound. Okay? It's a Karmadharaya compound. But in addition to that, it will have the first one as a number. And there are some more conditions which are told by the sutra, which we are not getting into in detail. So it has three conditions: Tadhitartha, Uttarapada, Samaharecha. Now, I am not going to get into the details of these two. I will give you more examples. Samahare, which is the most common one for us. Okay. What is Samahara? Samahara means when you have the words combining, ultimately what you see is the collection is kept in view, not the individual members. Okay. The word Samahara you will see used in two contexts. One is Dvigu and one is another one is called Dvandva. In Dvandva compounds also you have two types of Dvandva compounds. What are they? Itaretara Dvandva and Samahara Dvandva. What are the words again? Itaretara Dvandva and Samahara Dvandva. What is Samahara? What is Itaretara Dvandva? Where each element enjoys the same prominence as another element, which is our standard definition for Dvandva Samasa. Sarva Pada Pradhanam. Sarva Pada Pradhanam. But then, sometimes in Dvandva, I say several things, like if I were talking of the various instruments in an orchestra. My intention, if it's to enumerate the instruments, it will be Itaretara Dvandva. But if my intention is to talk of an orchestra with all these elements, that is a meaning of a collective. It's Ekarthi Bhava. It's called Ekarthi Bhava. This Ekarthi Bhava is for Samasa also. Let me not use that word. I'm saying it is Samahara means when they're close together, when they're tight together. Why I'm struggling with this is because a compound itself must have Ekarthi Bhava, which means that two words are combining, but they have to have one single meaning between them. When I say Rajapurusha, Raja is involved, Purusha is involved. My meaning is neither Raja nor Purusha, it is Raja Purusha combined in some way. That is called Ekarthi Bhava. The compound has to have a meaning which is distinct from the meaning of either of those words. I mean, any one word will not suffice. That's why we have two words. But there is Ekarthi Bhava. One meaning is said by the multiple words included. Right? So here, what is extra I'm saying? The meaning is a collective meaning. It is not the individuals. Dvandva generally is individuals. Again, if I say Dvigu, where I have a number of things, number is the first word. Number of things combined. Then it could be single. Each one is individual or collective. So typically, it has to be collective. This collective meaning, when it gets, we call it Samahara Dvandva or Samahara Dvigu. Is this clear? So in Samahara Dvandva, what is Pradhanam? It is not Sarvapada Pradhanam. That Samahara itself is Pradhanam. That collective is the Pradhanam, not each individual thing. Okay? So there are so few cases in Dvandva we'll look at later when Samahara will come. Now, in the context of Dvigu Samasa, what should we know with Dvigu? Dvigu is a Tatpurusa compound. Dvigu is also a Karmadharya with some extra condition. And the condition we are looking at right now is it should be in the meaning of a collective, a Samahara. Okay? That is the most common we'll encounter in the Shastra, in our Vedanta Shastra. So I'm covering that. The rest of it requires more study of some kind, and I may not be able to convey the meaning clearly. We may look at a couple of examples, but we will not go into more details. All right? So the Samahara Dvandva is what it has. Sankhya Vachakam. There has to be a something which tells a number, and that Subantena Samasyate. It combines with another Subanta word. And there are three types. Tadhitartha Vishaye, Uttarapade Parataha, Samahare Vachye. These I'm giving you straight from Samskrita Bharati book, okay? Thanks to the people who helped get me a text form which I can use easily. So now, so Dvigu Samasa, therefore, is classified as twofold. Tadhitartha Dviguhu, Uttarapada Paradviguhu, and Samahara Dvigu. First two we will not look at first. We will start with the last. Samahara Dvigu. What should you know about Samahara Dviguhu? As I mentioned to you, these compound sense of Ekartha, one meaning standing for the collection. Samahara. All right. Then, Dviguhu Eka Vachanam. Not all Dvigu. Samahara Dvigu will be Eka Vachanam because talk of a collection. If you talk of individuals, there will be manyness. But when you talk of collection, there will be only one. Many instruments, one orchestra. I'm using Dvandva to understand, okay? Orchestra is not an example for Dvigu. Right? So it will be in singular. This Dvigu, Samahara Dvandva will be, Dvigu will be in a singular. Samahara Dvandva will also be singular. Samahara means singular. Right? Then, Samahara Dvigau Linga Vyavastha. What do we know about gender so far? What is the gender of a Tatpurusha compound? So far, what have you understood? How do you determine the gender of a Tatpurusha compound? It is the gender, I'll answer it myself. It is the gender of the Uttarapada. It is the gender of the Uttarapada. All right. Dvandva compounds also, gender is the gender of the Uttarapada. Okay. Gender of the compound. Because the whole compound must have a gender. What about Bahuri? Bahuri will have the gender of what it is standing for, the Anyapada. Because it is Anyapada Pradhana. So if I say Sumukha, okay, one who has a beautiful face, it will have one thing to denote. Sumukhi will have a different thing to denote. One female, masculine, one feminine. Right? So, Chaturmukha, Chaturmukhi, I can make anything like this. Right? Drishta Samudraha, Drishta Samudra. If it's a lady, feminine, Drishta Samudra. If it's masculine, Drishta Samudraha. So it is, Linga will depend on the Visheshana, the Anyapada. All right. What about Samahara Dvigu? Before that, what about Avyayi Bhava? We haven't talked Avyayi Bhava, but I'll give you a start now. Avyayi Bhava will generally be a neuter compound with some slight bells and whistles. Okay? Neuter gender. What about Samahara Dvandva? Base rule is it will be neuter. Sa Napumsakam. Samahara Dvigu will be a neuter gender. Which means what? In order to use the Samahara Dvigu, you should know how to decline neuter. Okay? Important. Now, although they are generally neuter, if the Uttarapada in the Dvigu I hope all of you are clear. Uttarapada. Uttarapada is what? The second word, the latter word. If it happens to be ending in a short hraswa akara, at, then the at will take on a feminine affix and will become ikaranta. And it will be a feminine word. Base rule is what? Neuter. If the uttarapada is ending in akara, then it will become e ending and it will become feminine. But not all endings will become e ending. So first we saw general rule, then an exception. Now exception to exception. Some akarantas will remain neuter, will not take e and become feminine. All right. And if few, like the word ahan and ahan, if the word day is there in the compound, collection of some days, then it will become masculine. It won't be feminine, it won't be neutral, it will be masculine. Okay? So there are some rules like this. We don't have to remember all of them. What should we remember? When you see a Dvigu compound, if I say Dvigu, you should understand what it's a collective meaning. That's important first. And looking at the word, you will see a feminine or masculine. You're not writing compound, you're reading compounds. Okay? Is this clear so far? Right. With this background, we'll now look at the Samahara Dvigu a little. What is the Linga Vyavastha? First, Sanapumsakam. Sanapumsakam means what? Saha. Samahara Dviguhu and Samahara Dvandvaha are both what? Napumsakalam Syat. It will be neuter. Generally neuter by default. Default means the computer language default, okay? Not the financial world default. Okay. Ataha napumsakata sarvatra prapta. So any Samahara Dvigu will be what? Napumsakalinga. This will be what? Typically be neutral gender. That's what I mean. We're saying samanyan. Then kintu ahashabdaha dvigau pullingam syat. If the word ahan is there, then it will become what? It will be masculine. Don't worry about second part. This is a footnote in a Samskrita Bharati book. I'm just explaining that to you, okay? If you have Samskrita Bharati book, you can look at your footnote there later. Then akaranta shabdantah dviguhu ikaranta strilingah bhavati. I have explained this already. Meaning should be clear. What is ikaranta strilingah? What kind of a compound? Karmadharaya. Ikarantascha asau strilingascha. Okay. Similarly, akaranta shabda will be what? Akarantascha asau shabda. Karmadharaya. Shabdantah, make it bahuri. We'll look at that another. That which has at its end. Anyapadapulham. Okay. Atra akaranta uttarapadah dviguh striyam ishtah iti vartikam. Don't worry about this. These are there. And if you study Panini sometime, you will find it useful. So I've left it there. I've not removed it. Kintu ayam niyamaha patradigane pravishtaha ye shabdaha tadantasya vishe nasti. There are some words which are like patram, bhuvanam, yugam. Many more words may be added to this class, this group, gana. And there, this rule does not apply. Which means what? Exception doesn't apply. So it will remain in the normal case, which is neuter. Okay. This will all become clear when we see examples. Okay. Then, I've explained that. If the compound is an akaranta shabdanta, dvigu, then it generally becomes a feminine. Why I've used the word generally? Because exception will come. But there are exceptions. What are the exceptions? Exceptions are this. These are the exceptions, okay? All right. Then, If the word Ratri is there, then it will remain it will become Akaranta. But still, Strilinga will not happen. Some further rule, don't worry about it too. Okay. Now let's look at example. This is where I want to pay attention. Panchanam gavam samahara. Go is cows. A collection of 5 cows. A group of 5 cows. You're referring to the whole group. That will be called what? Panchagavam. It will be called Panchagavam. Panchanam patranam samahara. 5 vessels. One group. What is it called? The group collection is called Panchapatram. Trayanam bhuvananam samahara. 3 words. Bhuhu bhuvaha suvaha. Which will be called what? You observe this. What do I mean by Panchagavam? It means it is neuter. 1-1. Understand the form I'm giving you? Neuter 1-1. Panchapatram, Akaranta, neuter 1-1. Tribhuvanam, neuter 1-1. What are we looking at? The exceptions to Akaranta are listed here, okay? Interestingly, in the examples. These are not the rule. Chatur Yuga, again, Chatur Yugam. Neuter correct. But what should have happened in all these? Because the second word, see here, Patra is ending in A. Bhuvana is ending in A. Go is go, okay? It's not Gava. Becomes Gava for some reason. Yuga ends in A. So these 3 should have become what? Should have become Ikara. But they did not become. So these are examples of what? These are examples of this rule. Which rule? Patradyantasya na. Are you with me? So that rule is applying here. See, patra is the word here. That's applying here. Okay? That's applying here. That's applying here. Get it? Otherwise, it will become Chaturyugi. Right? But when you say Panchapatram, it could have been Panchapatra, Pullinga, and then second case singular. I am giving you first case singular only. To be clear, it's neutral. All right? Then, what does it mean to Chaturyugam? All 4 yugas. We are not interested in each yuga. That cycle of 4 yugas will be Chaturyugam. A collection. Okay? Saptaha. What is Saptaha? 1 week. Collection. Ahan means a day. 7 days collection. We are not interested in collection. We're interested in the whole 7-day cycle. That's a Saptaha. Did not become Ahan is the word. It's Pullinga. Watch that. This is 1M. Sorry. Make it M11. Masculine 1-1. Okay? Triratram. Triratram. Triratri is the word. Should have been Ratri. Why did it become Ratra? Something happens. Okay. Ratri becomes Ratra. So what is gender now? Neuter. Okay. Pancharatram, same story. Navaratram. Collection of, you see, we have celebration. What is that? Navaratra celebrations. We will say Navaratri. Sanskritam is Navaratram. Right? Trayanam Lokanam Samahara is what? Triloki. What is this now? Feminine one. Get it? Feminine, not neutral. Exception. Panchanam Vatanam Samahara. What's a Vata? A banyan. You know, Sita, where was she before she was kidnapped? Panchavati. Why is that name? Because there were 5 big banyan trees there. Panchavati. Okay. Again, what is it? Feminine. Then, Trayanam Padanam Samahara. Padanam, not Padanam. Padanam. What is Pada? You know, we have these quarters in Ashtadhyayi. Ashtadhyayi has got 8 chapters. Each chapter has got 4 quarters. So each quarter is called a Pada. So 3 quarters, a collection of 3 quarters is called Tripadi. But then typically the word is referred to the last three quarters of Ashtadhyayi. 8-2, 8-3, 8-4. That is called what? Tripaadi. Good word to keep in mind. Tripaadi. If we study Panini, very helpful. Okay. Then, now, see, these are examples. When I say more examples, these are from Samskrita Bharati. These are extra. All right. Trayanam, Gyatri, Jnana, Gye Rupanam, Putanam, Akaranam, Samahara. What is it called? Triputi. What is Triputi? You'll hear this in Vedanta. Triputi. What is Triputi? A collection of three forms. What are the three? Knower, knowledge. Why not Triputaha? This is Samahara. We are not interested in three things. And the number is given in the beginning, 3. Therefore, it becomes Dvigu. Samahara Dvigu. So, Trayanam, Putanam, Samahara. That's the basic Vigraha Vakya. What is the Trayanam? Gyatra, Jnana, Gye, Rupanam. What does Putanam mean? Akaranam. Samahara. So, basic Vigraha Vakya is going to be only this much. Trayanam, Putanam, Samahara. That would be your basic Vakya. That's your Vigraha. The rest of it is just to make it clear. All right. Now, Trayanam Kalanam Samahara. What will it be? Trikalam. Okay? So, Trikalam. And here again, what? I just need the 3. Trayanam. So that I can't highlight fully, okay? Because Sandhi. Samahara. That will become Trayanam Kalanam Samahara. What are 3 kalas? Karyakalaha. Instead of saying Vartamana, I said Karyakalaha, current. Bhutakalaha, Bhavishyatkalam. Collection of all 3. Means whole time is covered. It's called Trikalam. Okay. But the word can also mean thrice. Trikalam can mean thrice. It need not mean Samahara. See, any of these words, interestingly, could have another meaning. But then gender will give away. It won't be Trikalam if meaning changes, typically. That gender will change. That's why gender is highlighted here. Trayanam Kandanam Samahara. Kanda means what? A branch or a part or a division. So Trikandi means what? Observe here. Kanda ends in a. Therefore, though neuter, it became ending in e and feminine. So this is again what? A case of feminine one. Right? Trikandi. But it could also be Trikandaha. Then what will it be? Trini Kandani Asya. That which has 3 parts. And that's a Bahurihi. Are you with me? See, Trikandam should have been, because of Kanda ending in it became Trikandi. Now, Trikandi can refer to anything which is a collection with 3 parts. Okay? Like a book which has three parts. Could be Trikandi. But then, if you meant that which has 3 parts, you're not interested in the collection. You are interested in the Anyapada. See the emphasis change? I'm not interested in saying it's a collection of 3. I'm interested in saying that which has 3 parts. That's a Bahuri. Therefore, when you look at Amarsimha's Namalinga Anushasanam, they will call it Trikandaha Grantha. That is not in the sense of Dvigu. It could be said there also, but the person talks about it with Anyapada Pradhanam. Are you able to follow what I'm saying? What is the speaker's intention? What he wants to highlight is not the collection, but something which has those 3 parts. Okay? Then it becomes what? It won't be Kandi. It won't be Kandam. It will be what? Trikandaha. Could be kandam, neutral. Could be. But that depends on gender of Anyapada. All right. But Trikandi here is singular and neuter. That will be Dvigu, Samahara Dvigu. Singular and neuter. You cannot have, any other number. Because it has to be singular. Samahara Dvandva has to be singular. Clear? Okay. Then. Trayanam Jagatam Samahara. Swamiji, are there three jagats? In this context, you will say Bhuhu, Bhuva, Suvaha is three jagats, okay? Or you'll say Patala and, Upar and Niche, something you will come up. You divide the world into three. That collection of three is called Trijagati. Okay? Trijagati, collective of three words. Now, in Ayurveda, you have what is called as dosha. The collection of dosha is called Tridosham. What will it be? Trayanam doshanam samaha. What are three doshas? Vata, Pitta, Kafajanam. What is this now? Vata, Pitta, Kapha. Just showing you here, okay? It's Dvandva. And that Ja means born of. Will apply to all three. So first, Vatancha, Vatascha, Pittascha, Kafascha, or Kafancha, whatever you're dangerous. That'll give you Vata, Pitta, Kafaha. Tesham Jataha. Vata, Pitta, Kafa, Jaha. Then Shashti. Vata, Pitta, Kafajanam. But for as far as we are concerned, here, our only interest where is in this much. We are not interested in what are three doshas. But I'm explaining this compound. This is a common compound in Ayurveda. All right. Then, Chaturnam Dishanam Samaharaha. Collective word for all direction, four direction. That is called Chaturdisham. Okay. Chaturnam Masanam Samahara. Chaturmasam. See, monsoon, we have 4 months. And you have Vrata, Chaturmasyam. After Guru Purnima, Chaturmasyam begins on that day. And that is coming from Chaturmasa is the word. This should not be Masama. It should be Masam. Chaturmasam. Collection of 4 months. All right. Then Chaturnam. Chaturnam is 6th case, okay? 6th case Chatur. Chaturnam Ashramanam Samahara. Collection of 4 ashramas. What are they? Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyasa. It will be called what? Chaturashramam. Ashrama did not become ashrami, remained ashram. Okay? So Chaturmasam remained. It did not become Chaturmasi. Exception I'm showing you, okay? Chaturnam Sutranam Samahara. If you study Vedanta, you'll hear this. Chatussutri. What is Chatussutri? A collection of 4 sutras. What are they though? Typically used to denote the first 4 sutras in Brahma Sutras. You will hear in our 3-year course, what will they teach? They will teach Prasthanatraya to the extent possible and Brahma Sutra. What is Brahma Sutra? Chatussutri, 4 sutras. How do you get Chatussutri? This is the basis. It is Samahara Dvigu. Then Panchanam Ratnanam Samaharaha. A collection of 5 gems. What will you call? Pancharatnam. See, if it was not Samahara, it would have to be what? Pancharatna. Pancha Chate Ratna. Only when you have Samahara sense, it becomes a Dvigu. Samahara Dvigu. Otherwise, it will be Karnadharya plain. Okay? Singular here. Pancharatnam. A collection of 5 jewels or precious things. Now, what do they talk of? The government talks of our public sector, They talk of Navaratna. Have you heard? What is Navaratna? 9 gems of public sector companies or reserve better managed, which can give more money to the government and just sell the stake. Same idea. Nava Ratnanam Samaharaha. Navanam Ratnanam Samaharaha. Navaratnam. Right? But then this compound could have been broken differently. It could have been what? Panchavidham Ratnam or Panchagunitam Ratnam. Panchavidham means 5 different types of gems. We don't mean a collection of 5 gems. It's 5 different types of gems, diamonds and rubies and something else, Can be like that. So any compound, we have to look at context. Okay. Then, Panchanam Tattvanam Samahara. Panchatattvam. Here we are referring to what? Taken collectively, not individually. Otherwise, Panchatattvaha. Collective. Shannam Rasanam Samahara. See, when you do Naivedyam, you will say, I offer this to you, Shad Raso Petam. If you pay attention, you hear sometimes. Shad Raso Petam. 6 types of tastes are all added. Therefore, that is called Shad Rasam. This is again what? Samahara. Because we are not interested in 6 tastes. They're all 6 collections being referred as one word, comprising of all 6 tastes as necessary. Okay. Saptanam Matrinam Samaharaha. You heard of 7 mothers, Devis, together, collective noun of 7 mothers. Brahmi, Maheshwari, Kaumari, Vaishnavi, Varahi, Indrani, Chamunda. They are called Saptamaka. And what will be the compound? Saptamatrinam Samaraha Saptamatru. Neutral. You don't need a number or anything. Like Datru. Datru, Datrini, Datrini. That way. Matru, Matrini, Matrini. Not Mata, Mataro, Matara. Okay. Then, Saptanam Shlokanam Samahara. Oh, I messed, okay? I messed it up. Sapta, I should have had Sapta Shata. Okay, now my stuff is. Okay, good. So I'm saying 700. A collection of 700 verses is called what? Saptashati. Durga Saptashati. Example. Then you have Ashtanam Adhyayanam Samaharaha. Ashtadhyayi. And what is Bhagavad Gita? Ashtadashadhyayini. Remember? Ashtadashadhyayini. Why Dhyayini? Ashtadashadhyayini. So, I'm just saying, you could come up with there too. But Ashtadashadhyayin will come first, then Ashtadhyayini will become probably a Matupanta. I'm not sure. I double check that. I'll check that again. Dashanam Shlokanam Samahar. Collection of 10 shlokas. Common words of Shankara, work of Shankara called Dasha Shloki. Okay. I put this down, but I would like to double check this, okay? Ashtadashadhyayi is okay. But if you want Ashtadashadhyayini, then it may come differently, okay? Ashtadashadhyayi will be like Ashtadhyayi, Bhagavad Gita. Okay? So these are all examples of what? Samahara Dvigu. Now I'm saying, watch and make sure you don't confuse everything with number with Dvigu. May not be. I'm giving you a few examples where the compound begins with a number, all right, but it is not a Samahara Dvigu because there is no sense of that Samahara there. Example is what? Shad Darshana. Have you heard this? Shad Darshana, 6 philosophies. What is the Vigraha? Shad Gunitam Darshanam. What kind of a compound is this? Karmadhara. Plain Karmadhara. Okay, sixfold. Translation I'm giving, sixfold philosophy. What are they? Astika Mata Siddhe, Purvamimamsa 1, Vedanta 2, Sankhya 3, Patanjala Yoga 4, Nyaya 5, Vaisheshika 6. These 6. Shat. 6 darshana. Sixfold philosophy is called Shat Darshana. But this is not a example of a Samahara Dvigu. Yes, Priyanka.
Would this not be Madhyam Padalo?
See, it could be if that word guna is very important. Could be, can be taken that way. But if I'm saying just to say sixfold, guna is multiplication.
Right.
You know, 6 multiple of 6. Therefore, I did not say Madhyapadalopi. Could be. Right?
Okay.
Okay. Then Ashtanga Yoga here. Yes, boom.
Swamiji, just a small doubt. What is the difference between Dvigu Samahara? Is there a difference between Dvigu Samahara and Dvandva Samahara?
Yes, when we see Dvandva Samahara, you'll see. Main is Dvigu Samahara must have a number in the first word.
Okay.
Has to be a number. That's the primary difference. You won't have number in Dvandva. It will just be, or Dvandva will be all numbers and numbers and numbers. See, number in first word is one thing, but if all numbers are added, that could be Dvandva. But here, first will be number. Second won't be a number.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Yeah. Ashtanga Yoga. What is this now? This is what? Angani Yasya. What kind of compound? Ashtau Angani Yasya. Bahuri. It's not a Karmadhara at all. Just because you hear Ashta and Anga, don't say it's Dvigu. Doesn't make sense. This is what we should do in school, you know. Number first means say Dvigu. It'll be wrong. Teacher will be like this only. You'll mess it up. So, what are the 8 angas? Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi, Rupe, Yoga Shastrokte. Angani Yasya. Is what? Bahuvrihi. This much alone is the Vigraha. Extra information is for us. Okay. What is Navagraha? Navagraha. Navagraha. Straight. What is it? No Samahara sense. 9 planets. And therefore, what do you get? You'll get Navagraha, not Navagraham. Watch the plural. Therefore, it will be what? Plain Karmadharaya. Not a Dvigu. Samahara Dvigu. Now, so far we have seen the Samahara Dvigu. Now we just see a couple of examples of the other kind of Dvigu. Not really interested in them. Okay. Just so you hear the names. I have no other intention in these. So don't ask me questions on these. Okay. Upfront, I'm telling you. Now, see here, the main thing is Tadita Artha Dvigu is the first word is not just shut. It undergoes a change because of Tadhita involved. That's what he says, Tadhita Artha Dvigu. So, Shannam Matrinam Apatyam Shan Maturaha. Subramanya is called Shan Maturaha. He has 6 mothers. You know, 6 Kritikas, I think. So that's why he's called Shan Maturaha. Then Ganesha will be called Dvai Matura. 2 mothers. Probably elephant and Parvati. I don't know how it comes as 2. But 2 mothers. So 2 is involved. But there is a Tadhita involved. So Dvi becomes Dvai. Shat becomes Shan. Okay, Shat. Then Shat becomes Shan because something. Panchasu Kapaleshu Samskritaha Panchakapalaha. So these are examples which will, Panchakapala you will see sometimes in Purvamimamsa, but otherwise you will not see these much in our Vedanta examples. The second one is called Uttarapada Dvigu. Here, the interesting is this compound really is a Bahurihi compound. Then what is Dvigu here? This Bahuri has got 2 components. Panchagavaha, Dhanam Yasya. This Panchagavaha, compounds to become pancha gava. That is a Dvigu here. Okay, what does it mean? One whose wealth is 5 cows. One whose wealth is 5 cows. That's his wealth. There's no collection sense here. The number is involved, and there is this Panchagava as a Uttarapada, Dhana. These are always Bahuri. Dasha Gava Dhana. Similar example. 10 cows are his wealth. Pancha Sakha Priya. So one who is, to whom 5 people are very dear. We don't need these compounds for Vedanta study. So I am not interested in these right now. Okay. But this will be the story of Dvigu Samasa. Okay. Is this clear? Yes, Deep.
Swamiji, I had one question. What will be Sapta Rishi would be? Sapta Rishi will be.
Saptarishi is likely to be a, like Panchavati, it would be a Samahara Dvigu. Saptanam Rishinam Samahara. Saptarishi. Very likely. You can check it out. Okay. Because we are not interested in individual Rishi. If you are interested in individual Rishi, it will not be Samahara. If you are interested in Samahara sense. Okay. Because I told you, a lot of compounds can lend itself to both sides. If I want to say 3 lokas and not in the collective, I will not make it Samahara. If I want to refer to Ashtanga Yoga as one collection, I can make it Samahara. So like that, everything can change. But what you are giving an example would typically be classified in a Samahara Dvigu, like Panchavati, this what you mentioned just now, Saptarshi. These are all not only Sankhya Purvam, they are also standing for a famous place or something which is known. They'll have a Rudi Artha, typically. Sangya. They're called Sangyams. I don't remember Sutra offhand, but I can check and see. Needs 2 seconds. I'll confirm for you what I'm saying. If I find it in 2 minutes, I will give an answer. If not, we will defer it to next week. Let me check. I'll either check end of class or later. Okay. Right now, I don't have an answer to that exactly. I don't want to give you a wrong answer. Okay.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So this is Dvigu. All right. Now there are a couple of very important Tatpurusa samasanas which have to be understood, and they're a little harder to explain. I have kept them pending, but I have to get into it sometime. If I want to cover them, I have to get into it. So this, let me screen. Okay, let me think for a minute, okay, which I want to do first. I will tell you. All right, let me come back to you. Okay. We will see, unfortunately, the samasas are all told by rules of Panini. Unfortunately, in one sense, that unless I make you understand those Paninian terms, meaning won't get clear. Okay. So there is a rule which says it names 3 things. Ku, Word is ku, gati, and praadi. Ku, gati, and praadi will form tatpurusha compounds. All right. What is this ku? You don't. All right. But I give an example. Kuputraha. Do you know what it means? You all know the meaning. Kuputraha. Not a good son, okay? One second. I'm trying to remember one verse from Bhavani Ashtakam, which will have all these schools. Kudrishtihi kuvakya prabandha sadaham. There are one or two more there. Kudrishtihi. One who has a bad vision. Kuvakya prabandha. One who creates bad sentences. Okay. So this ku is compounded with putra. Ku, putra. What does ku mean? Ku has a meaning of kutsita. Kutsita means blameworthy. Kutsana yogyaha. Kutsita putraha. Kuputraha. You cannot give Vigrahavakya. Kuputraha. Kuputraha. Not great. Because ku is not to be used like that. What is ku? What is the meaning of ku? Kutsitaha. So kutsita putraha. Kuputraha. So this ku will cover very few words. Very few words are there. The word says ku, we have to add a few. Okay. And this ku will sometimes change. The word ku will sometimes change depending on what is the Uttarapada. This is how the compound function. I told sometimes based on Uttarapada, like I told you earlier, samana udaraha becomes sodaraha, sa udaraha. Samana becomes sa. Right. Similarly, something else, saha can also become sa. Right. This is called changes in the Purvapada on account of Uttarapada. I mentioned to you, chapter 6.3 of Ashtadhyayi will address all these changes. So there you will have a bunch of sutras which will tell you what to do with ku. Some things will change. Okay. So sometimes you'll get ka. Instead of ku, you'll get ka. And there are a few more words to be added. This is called ku. All right. What is this gati now? Gati is nothing to do with movement, okay? This gati is a Paninian term. And he will give you a list. For simplicity's sake, you understand for now that what you know as upasargas. You remember what is upasarga? Long ago we saw. What is upasarga? List of 20, you know. Pra, para, apa, etc. And I must have pointed out in the Shabdamanjari in the beginning. It will be there. Or maybe in Dhatu Manjari, I don't remember where I show it to you. But one of them, you will find upasargas. Pra, apa, pari, vi, you know, lot of these are there. And they typically go along with a dhatu. Typically. All right. So when they go along with a dhatu, these pra, para, apa, etc., 20 of them will get a name gati. It is not a complete definition nor a foolproof definition. Okay. It is a working definition form. All right. Just a working definition. But now see, suppose I say prasiddha. Prasiddha. What is siddha? What is siddha? Accomplished. How do you get the word siddha? Baddha, labdha, Shuddha. How do you get these words? Do you remember anything?
Tapra-
Ta pratyaya. Good. Ta pratyaya. So labh plus ta becomes labdha. Siddh plus ta becomes siddha. What is ta pratyaya meaning? First basic meaning, past tense, karmani. So whatever is accomplished is called siddha. What has been purified is called shuddha. Right? Now, what is prasiddha? See, siddh plus ta is siddha. How do you combine pra with siddha? This is a tatpurusha compound. This is a tatpurusha compound. Don't ask me. What is Vigraha, Swamiji? Vigraha is prakarshena siddha prasiddha. How do you get prakarshena? How the word pra should be translated can be multiple. You know, viparitaha. You know, vibhinnaha. Bhinna is fine. Vibhinna, tatpurusha compound. All right. So what will you find? Typically, I'm saying, this is not precise, but it's a good working definition, is that you will find a kridanta word which seems to be preceded by an upasarga. You cannot just add an upasarga. That's not the way it works. Prakriya is, it is samasa. And that samasa will have vigraha vakya like what I told you. Prakarshena siddha, siddha, something like that will be there. You know, or, you know, no, something is not coming to my head. Leave it. So basically, you will find hundreds of examples like this. You may not know vigraha vakya. Just technically, I'm saying they'll all be what? Tatpurusha compounds. What kind of tatpurusha? Gati-tatpurusha compound. All right. Now, the gati definition is not just these. There are some more things added to it. Okay. Not just these. So, when they add the definition, that has certain impacts on compounding. Due to that, something will happen. A typical example is what we call abhuta tadbhava. One example I'm giving you. Abhuta tadbhava means what? What was not is made into something. What was not, abhuta, and now it has become that. I'll give you an example. What was not white is made white. Ashuklam shukli kritaha. Shukli kritaha. Okay. So basically, you have a usage like this. And this can compound in the sense of having done to say shukli kritya. Like you have, you know, you remember you have twa becoming lyap. Gam plus twa, gatwa. Gam plus twa, gatwa. A plus twa. It agatwa? No, what is it? Come and tell me. Agamya. Why did you make it gamya? Because I said when an upasarga proceeds, you make it lyap. Correct? These are all working rules, okay? Now, that agamya is not really just a kridanta. It's a compound. It's a compound. Okay? Similarly, Shukli Kritya is a compound. Shukli Kritva will become Shukli Kritya. See, in Agamya, Gam is the dhatu. A looks like an upasarga to you. Twa became Ya. Now, Shukli, Ashuklam, Shukli Kritva. I cannot say. I should say Shukli Kritya. Ashuklam, Shukli Karoti will become Shukli Kritya. For this, you need this Gati Sanya. Okay? So this Gati is basically understand wherever you seem to have nouns, with upasargas, they will typically be Gati Samasas. This is somewhat understood. I don't expect clarity here, okay? I expect some fuzzy understanding right now. All right? Viveka. Word is there. How do you get Viveka? It will be a samasa like this. So I'm saying you will find a lot of words. And typically these words will not be listed in examples. I'm emphasizing it therefore. Okay? Gati, Praadi. What is this Praadi now? I told you, Para, Apa, they look like Gati only. Praadi, in fact, is all Gati when they have a Kriya Yoga. You may not understand Kriya Yoga right now. Means connected to a Kriya. I'll give an example, it will become more clear to you, okay? So, let me use the examples here now. Give me 1 second, okay? I'll share the screen with you and hopefully make it more clear to you. Okay, let me do that. Here. Just give me 1 second, okay? Okay. Now you see, I talked about ku-samasa first, right? Ku-samasa, this is the samasa, book from Samskrita Bharati, right? Kushabdaha subantena nityam samasyate. Should be samasyate, not samaste. And that will become what? Kutsitaha purushaha kupurushaha. Could also be ka purushaha. Ku can become ka. Ka purusha. Kutsitam annam becomes what? Kadannam, not kudannam, not kuannam, kvannam. See, kuannam would have been kvannam, sandhi. No, kadannam. Kutsita ashvaha, kadashvaha, kad. Ka, ku became kad. Change. Has the meaning of what? A bad horse, a blameworthy horse. Not good food, probably food cooked with stolen money, whatever, kadan. Now, Gati Samasa. What is Gati Samasa? Example. He gives Angikaram Kritva. Uri Kritya. What is this Gati got to do? This Kritva became Kritya. That's all it did really. Okay. What is an example of Gati Samasa? Urari Kritya. Angikaram Kritva. Can be Urikritya or urarikritya. Having accepted means. I gave an example. Ashuklam, shuklam kritva. Shukli kritya. This is an example of gati samasa. Now, see, you will find these examples typically in grammar books. And what they won't give you is the most important ones, which is just like Upasarga. They give exception, they don't give the most common. This is a problem sometimes you see. So, another example here he gives, not all needed for us, but just for your information, okay? Now, suppose you did this sound, okay? What did you hear? What did you hear? Knock, 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 you heard. You could say knock, 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 right? I could say tuck, tuck, tuck. Is that okay or not? Suppose you're telling somebody, you are explaining what happened at home. You were alone and you heard this. Tuck, tuck, tuck. You heard this sound. How do you say it? You made, so I made this sound. I went to that house and I did tuck, tuck, tuck. To say this, you have to knock. See, tuck is not exact sound. When you knock, you did not say tuck, tuck. That's not what knocking is this. It is not tuck, tuck. But still you give a word for it. You decide to call it tuck. Okay? This kind of a thing is known very well in Sanskrit. So they give some word like pata. How do you wash your clothes on a stone? Pat, 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 you do. Okay? To say this, you say pata pata kritva. You have to repeat that word. That sound you want to say, you have to say it 2 times. Pata pata. Munu munu. See, in Tamil you say what? Munu munu. Why munu? Why 2 times? Munu is not a word. You don't say munu munu when you say munu munu. What do? You do something, right? But you give a word for that. That is called munu munu. It is coming from Sanskritam, okay? In Hindi, when you just hum a tune, what do you say? What do you say in Hindi? Geet.
Gungunana.
What is gunguna? What is gunguna? That is this. Basically, the humming is said. See, it looks interesting to me. How do you hum a tune? Humming is what? Gun. Now you repeat it. Guna guna becomes gun gunana. Gun guna rahi hai bhavane. You know, humming. These are humming. That humming sound, how do you say it in language? Gunu guna. How does fire burn? Panchadashikara will say. Bhoga bhoga. You hear the fire. How does it burn? Bhog, 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 bhog. We use this in Kannada also. This kind of word. Bhoga bhoga. How it's burning. How does water run? Chili chili. Some word you'll use, you know. For a sound which you are trying to reproduce. How does a car go? How does it start? Drr, drr. What is it? Drr, drr. It's not exact sound. This kind of sounds are done by putting some sound and repeating it 2 times. Now, when you use that in a compound, you get a sound, you get a word. Like I told you, washing clothes, pata pata, pata pata, kritya, kim karoti, vastram, kshalayati. Washes the clothes. Do you need this compound? We don't, okay? But that's an interesting compound. I'm mentioning it to you. That is part of gati. When you have these sounds, when you're doing anukaranam of a sound, then also you get this gati sangya. All right. So why I mentioned that? Because the example here is what? Pata pata iti shabdam kritva. This is the Vigraha Vakya. And what will the compound be? Pata pata kritya. What kind of compound is this? Gati samasa. Okay. Then how do you clear your throat? Okay. The sound is khat. Ka, ka. That kind of sound you're creating. So for that, a special word, khat kritya. Khat kritva becomes khat kritya. See, these don't add any great Vedantic knowledge. If you study Vedanta, none of these words you use. But I find them amusing. Okay? It's just fun to know how the language has come. Khat kritya. Clearing your throat. Having cleared your throat, you said khat kritya vadati. Okay. Now, when you invite and order a guest, adaram kritva, having honored. How do you say it as a compound? You can say it in 2 words. If you want to make it 1 word, satkritya. Satkritya, not satkritva. Satkritya. Adaram is replaced by the word sat. Sat has the meaning of adara, respect, puja. Satkara, satkaranam, satsanga. All that is puja of sat. Okay? Now, vyavahito bhutva. Vyavahita means what? Not visible to you. Separated. Vyavadhanam, separation. Vya, vi, a plus dha. Dhatu. Vyavahito bhutva means having become invisible. How is that said? Tiro bhuya. Tiras is the word there. Tiro bhuya. So the compound is tiro bhuya. You cannot say tiras bhuya. You have to use aswapada vigraha. Becomes vyavahito bhutva, becomes tiro bhuya. Kati samasa. Having held someone's hand, you say something. That compound is hastam grihitva is vigraha vakya. What is the compound? Haste kritya. Panau kritya. You condemn or put down something or hide something. That is called tiraskarana. Tiraskritva becomes tiraskritya. I don't know what is the paje kritva offhand. Okay. Sakshat kritva. What is the compound? This is not one compound. Okay, there's 2 words. Sakshat kritva. What is the compound? Sakshat kritya. Very common for us. Urasi kritva. Having taken to heart. Urasi kritya. Manasi kritva. Manasi kritya. See, here it looks almost the same, but one is 2 words. This is the right way to do it. And the one is a compound. These are all what? Examples of what? Examples of Kati samasa. This side is samasa. This side is samasa. This side is vigraha vakya. Okay? Because sakshat is ravya. You can sakshat kritya. Kritva. But if you make it a compound, sakshat kritya, you will find this very common. These are all given as what? Examples of, see, keeping in front. Having decorated. Alankritya. Alankaram kritva. Alankritya. Parishkaram kritva. Alankritya. We saw satkritva. Adaram kritya. Now what? Anadaram kritva. Asat kritya. Adara sat. Anadara asat. Asat kritya. Then puraskaram kritva. Puraskritya. Keeping in front, having rewarded, both meanings can come. Tirodhanam kritva. Prapya. Asangatya. Astangatya. So these are all examples given for what? You will see what's happening in all these cases. Tva is becoming lyap. That's what is happening. Predominantly. Okay? So all these are examples of what? Gati samasa. Are you clear? Somewhat clear, example-wise? Now, let me share the Ashtadhyayi for a minute. Then we will look at what it does there for you. Okay. We want the Sutra Patha. Okay, and here we want to look for ku-gati. Ku-gati-praadi. Okay, this is the sutra we're looking at right now, basis. Now, what does it say? says kushabdaha avyam parigrihyate. Okay, leave that alone. ku-gati-praadayah samarthena shabdantarena saha nityam samasyante tatpurusa samasa bhavati. What is ku? Kuhu paparthe. I told you kutsitartha. Ku-purushaha. All right. Gati, example. Urari kritya, example. Then what? Pradayah. We have to look at this yet. All right. Now, the thing is, we will get to that in a minute. I want to show something else. Okay. Give me 2 seconds. Okay. Looking for something, and therefore taking a little time. Keep that. I may not be here then. Okay. There it is. Okay. Okay, never mind. I'll come back to it later. I want to share something with you to show you the basis. But anyway, what I was trying to show you here is that, again, you will see that examples given here, they don't seem to give simple examples which I gave you. Like I told you, I said anything with an upasarga you add, it will be an example for gati samasa. That somehow they don't give you, and that's a problem because you don't know how those are formed. They're also gati tatpurusa. Okay. Now, pradaya. In pradaya, there are a few examples. So you see, durnindaya, dushpurushaha, example of pradi. Dushpurushaha. Swati pujayam. Su is also meaning of puja. Like ku is ninda, su is puja. Supurushaha. All right. Now, dushpurushaha, supurushaha are examples of what? Pradi. There are 3 things here. Ku, gati, and pradi. Okay. So you will find example for ku is given as kupurushaha. All right. But for pradi, it's given as dushpurushaha. Also supurushaha, atipurushaha, apingalaha. So a lot of examples. All right. Now, what's happening? What you need to pay attention here is in the pradis, the pra, etc. will look similar to upasarga. But what follows will be something which looks like a noun to you. When we see examples next week, it'll become more clear. Okay. In fact, let me do it right now. Maybe it's easier to explain that way than with trying to show you the sutra. Give me a second. Okay. So look at this now. Shobhanaha Purushaha. Wait. If I use page down button and then arrows, it will get me for a trouble. Okay. Shobhanaha Janaha. Vigrahavakya. Sujanaha. What is an example of Pradi? Duracharaha Purushaha. Dushpurushaha. Okay. What do you find here? Su is there. After that, what do you find? Jana. It looks like a noun. Dush Purushaha, a noun. Now, Pracharyaha. Pracharyaha is what it really means. pragataha acharya. My acharya is acharya. Pragata. Okay. You have pragataha acharya, pracharya, and then what do? You drop this gataha, like we did madhyamadalopa, and you get a word which is pracharya. So here, between pra and acharya, there is no kriya. This pra in pracharya is really connecting with gata, that which has gone behind, pragata. But the word gata is dropped. And when it is dropped, what do you get? Pracharya. Now, pra is directly followed by acharya. See, when I said prasiddhaha, when I said prasiddhaha to you, there pra is the upasarga, and then immediately siddh, which is dhatu. Okay? But pra acharya, acharya is not dhatu. You can bring dhatu, a plus char, etc. But don't go there yet. Acharya looks like a noun to you. Purusha looks like a noun to you. In such cases, this pra does not have a gati sangya. Swami, what difference does it make whether it has gati sangya or not? Sometimes it makes a difference. Okay, in some situations, it will make a difference. We are not interested right now. But I have no easy way to make you understand this. Therefore, I'm giving you an example and telling you what this is about. I'll try to clarify it more when we go further. Okay. But for now, you understand that in pradi, that pra will be followed by what will look like due to a noun and not a kriya. Kriya is involved, then it will be gati. When kriya is not involved, we call it pradi. Okay. And this pra, etc., will be forming a compound, will be forming a kridanta like pragata, prapatita, etc. But that second part will get dropped. We'll look at this next week. Okay. And you will get more clarity on pradi. But for now, we will leave it at this because I'll just show you a couple of examples. So something enters your head and we'll come back to it when we meet next week. Atikrantam malam. This kranta goes away, becomes atimalaha. Abhigataha mukham. Abhimukhaha. Pratigataha aksham. Pratyakshaha. Atikrantaha shvanam. Atishvi. So you will see in all these, this word in between gets dropped. This is typical of this pradi samasa. And that example, those examples are not enough and not easy to understand this fully. This kind of compound will take some more, either you'll see a lot of examples or you understand more grammar or both. It's a little harder to grasp, but we will look at them for what is useful to us. Okay. So I'll stop with a prayer, then we will take questions. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Have any questions? And before that, let me ask you one thing. Are you people open to a couple of extra classes? Sunday would work? Would Sunday work? I will not take it this Sunday. I'll make it next Sunday. So you have some notice. I don't want to spring it on you tomorrow. Keep Sunday, next Sunday, and Sunday after. Okay? Because before we have a break, I want to finish the masters. That's my purpose. So we'll have a little more time. Should have thought of it last week. Then I could have tomorrow also. Now I don't want to spring it on you tomorrow. We'll do it next week and week after, maybe. Depends on how we move. All right. So that's something I want to tell you. Now, you have any questions? You're welcome to ask. Yes, Ramesh.
Swamiji, like kuputraha, suputraha will be the opposite of putra. That also will be prag.
See, both are Tatpurusha compounds. In that you be fine, okay? Because what is being talked about is Purusha. Whether it is good Purusha or bad Purusha. See, appears like actually a Karmadharaya, doesn't it? It looks like a Visheshana Visheshya.
Correct.
But who is not a Visheshana? Could have been. Technically it is Kutsitaha Putraha, Kuputraha. If you write Kutsitaha Putraha, it will be Karmadharaya, plain. But you want to write Kuputraha, what is the rule for it? This is only purely rule-based, okay, business. It's a Tatpurusha. We don't call it Karmadharaya. Suputraha, same. But what is the difference? Ku is coming through the word ku in the sutra. But su is coming through pradi. What difference does it make to you and me? At this point, it doesn't make any difference, okay? All right. But we just need to appreciate that. Why I'm doing all of this way? Because if you want to look up further, you have some basis to go. All right. So what is happening is this pra, etc. by themselves may not have meaning or may have meaning, but they will be avyayas which have meaning. So suputraha, kuputraha, both are comes. Okay. But if you want to dig deeper, one is because of ku, it is kuputra. Other one is su is pradita. So if you want to break it down further, one is ku samasa, one is pradi samasa. Makes no difference to us. Whether it's gati samasa, ku samasa, pradi samasa, makes no real difference to us at this time. Okay. So we will see later. Now, suppose I say prakarshena nayati, leads very well. Someone leads very well. Nayati iti nayaka. One who leads is called a nayaka. A leader is called a nayaka. Nayati iti nayaka. We have a pratyaya for it. Null pratyaya we add. We get nayaka. Now, prakarshena nayati, leads very well, will become pranayaka. Okay. Now, I can also have word pragataha nayakaha yasma. Some country from which the leader has run away. That will be what? Pranayaka. If both are pranayaka, only pranayaka, only pranayaka. Why? One is gati, one is not gati. This kind of complexities are there. Most of the time, we don't have to get involved with them. But if you want to say, Swami, what's the difference between gati and non-gati? Why you are making so much complication? Hey, there is some natvam difference will come. Some samasa difference will come because of that. Maybe swara difference will come. I don't know. But all I'm saying is the differences are not big. But if I say Tatpurusa, if I say Tatpurusa pranayaka, you will say it is not just pra plus ni. There's something in between. What is that? Pragataha. Good. Now you get the meaning. That way it will help you. Otherwise, kuputra, suputra makes no difference. Okay?
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, Deepti.
Swamiji, like in Hindi, we say Pracharya, it's the principal or the Pradhan Acharya is also Pracharya. So what would it be like that?
I don't know offhand. See, words you throw at me offhand, I can't answer. I'll have to look it up. Okay. I don't want to say anything without looking it up. I look it up and tell you. All right. Because it can have multiple meanings. This pradis can have multiple meanings. Okay. For example, you see a V. Okay. Let's see. Maybe this will show up in the Ashtadhyayi for a minute. Give me a second. I want to go for Koshanveshana. See, I'm sharing with you how we look at things, okay? So you know how to do as yourself also. So now, let us say we are looking for pra. I just want to look for pra. What is pra? Pra iti avyayaha. What are the meanings? Arambhe, katau, utkarshe, prathamye, sarvato bhave utpattau khyatau vyavahare cha. Okay. Now, asya kriya yoge upasargatvam gatitvancha. You see what I'm saying? Now the point is, you are saying pracharya. Is it meaning arambha? Does it mean utkarsha? Does it mean prathamya? Does it mean utpat? Which meaning? Is it khyati? Which meaning? Without understanding, I cannot tell you what the meaning will be. And you can give a different interpretation. Now you said pracharya. Let's see what pracharya will show up here, okay? Pracharya. Pracharya is here. What does it say? The teacher of a teacher. I told you pragata just now. Pragata acharya, I said, is teacher of teacher. You know, see, the teacher of a teacher or a former teacher. Pragata acharya. Now, another meaning is what? Prakrishtaha acharya. What happened? In Pragata, Gata went away. In Prakrishta, Krishta went away. What is Prakrishta? He means just a teacher, a good teacher. So which depends on context. Okay. Now, you are taking the meaning Pradhana Acharya. For principle, Pradhana is head. Now, if I say Pradhana Acharya hand, I can drop Dhana if it's possible. I don't know offhand, okay? Then principle will come. Or you may have to find some other words where pra has the meaning of Pradhana. You know, and then drop the middle word. So this pradis are all like this. You have to keep dropping something. Okay. Atikrantaha kokilam. One who has transcended a cuckoo in one's voice. So beautifully Lata Mangeshkar sang. So now what will be Atikranta kokila? Atikranta is one who has crossed over, one who has transcended. What has she transcended? A cuckoo. What will the compound be? Atikranta kokila. Right? Now, Atikranta kokila, there's another compounding possible. What is the what will it become? Ati kokila. Ati kokila is what? Praadi Tatpurusa. Okay? Atikranta kokila is what? Plain karmadharya. May not be available for compounding, may be available. Ati kokila is what? Pradi. Now, what Ati kokila mean? You have to bring the kranta in between, in your meaning. Your Vigraha Vakya will tell you that. It is like Madhyama Padalopa. But this is how it works. Madhyama Padalopa is like an offbeat thing. This is very common. Pragata Palasha, Prapalasha, one from whom leaves have fallen in autumn. Prapalasha. But Prakarshena Palasha, you can say maybe your meaning is different. I don't know. What pra stands for depends on what you dropped. See the problem? So if you look, go back and here, you will find it's not just pra. You look at apa. What will you find now? Apa. See now here. Viyoge, Vikritau, Viparite, Nidarshane, Anande, Varjane. So many meanings are there. Right? Vikritau, Apakritaha, Viparite, Apashabdaha. Right? You see, what does it mean? In the meaning of Vikriti, the word with apa is Apakritaha, means it's been distorted. Apachayaha means there is a Viparita meaning. Sorry, not that. Here. Viparite, Apashabdaha will give you what? Yeah, one second. Is it Apachayaha here? Vikritau, Apakritaha, Apachayaha. Viparite, Apashabdaha. Apashabda means a contrary word. In the meaning of Viparita, the word apa is used in Apashabda. Like this, you take each one of these, you will find there are so many possible meanings. If you have a book called Avyaya Kosha, you will find so many meanings for each of the. And each of those meanings will lend itself to one praadi samasa. Therefore, sometimes we will see what we will say, we will give one meaning in Bhashyam. Sometimes we'll give a different meaning. You will be expecting, prakarshena, and I will say something else. How did you do that? That's you look at the context and decide what will fit well. So this kind of compound where you drop something requires a lot of understanding and contextual understanding. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Any other questions? Done? Okay. Now there are some questions from the group. We'll look at them. Okay. So this is from the group which is doing extra exercises. Okay. Sorry, not the right one. No. Okay. So let me see what I can do with this. You have a couple of questions and we will look at them. What's that? Yeah. Okay. The sentence is there here, which is Kintu tani ganayitum na parayami. And the question is not sure which dhatu is being used. So I would say this is right. What you put here is right. This is what it is. Kaumudi dhatuhu para karma samapta. That seems to fit best in context. Okay. Puranam, etc. won't fit in too well here in my mind. Because if you just went and look for parayami on Ashtadhyayi, you will find several dhatus. Right. This seems to fit the best in my understanding. And as far as translation goes, I am not able to count, but I cannot complete counting them, but I am not able to complete the counting of them. I would think the first one is the best in a way. It's very simple. That's what it really means. I'm not able to count. That meaning to bring out in Sanskrit, we have used the word parayam.
What exactly is the meaning of par dhatu? Because I mean, the meaning didn't exactly mean able to.
See, it said what? It said karma samapta. Not easy to translate. To finish a job, kind of, to end, to reach the end. See, in Hindi you say, right? Us par jana. That same meaning will come.
Right.
मैं पार नहीं कर सकती, ना पा रही हूं. That meaning will come. Okay. Sometimes you can get lucky. You go and look for, in Ashtadhyayi, you may find what he'll call as what he calls it? Prakrita Shabda or something he'll call it. You will find I'll show you one just now. So you know what I'm looking for. Now. Sure. Maybe wrong. Okay. So you know what is shati? Sadi. All right. You see what it says here? Shadi iti bhasha. Iti bhasha means Sanskritam, Pali, etc. He will give you a close common word. So sometimes you're lucky. You may find something like that. Para. Parayati. So this is dhatu. No, nothing here. I'm just saying, if it says bhasha. but it doesn't, unfortunately. So I'm just saying sometimes you can get lucky. You might get a simple word in Hindi, very likely, which we'll see here. Okay. What do you say? Para paratiram. See the meaning? There's not dhatu, but I'm saying you can get some sense by looking at these. Yes, Deepti.
Swamiji, related to this only, like if the context is counting the stars,
Yeah.
anyway, no one can complete the counting of stars, right?
Fair enough.
How can it be?
Fair enough. I'm not, see, look, what's your question there?
That karya samapta, how will be like that? Because it can never be completed.
Correct.
That
But
was
I'm saying, look, fair enough. But I'm saying, what is the idiom used in English? See, when you translate, you should use the language, the idiom of that language. You know, there is a certain idiom in Sanskrit. There's a certain idiom in Hindi. You cannot use the same in English. It doesn't work. Not always. May work, may not. So I'm saying, when you translate to English, you get the meaning. मैं कभी गिन नहीं सकती तारों को. That's your Hindi. Am I right? मैं तारे गिनना खत्म नहीं कर सकती. Will you say in Hindi? Will you say that to somebody? मैं तारे गिन नहीं सकती. अनगिनत तारे हैं. मैं गिन नहीं सकती. That's what you will say, right? Why don't you translate as मैं तारों की गणना पूरी नहीं कर सकती? Very precise. But who wants to listen to that Hindi? They will say, please come to college and teach. That's what they will ask you to do. If you're talking to a friend, they'll expect you to say simply, मैं गिन नहीं सकती. गिनती नहीं होती है. That's why I'm saying that in the context here, all the translations to me are fair enough. Where is it? Where is your document? Right? Just want to open that same document. Okay, yeah, there it is. So you see, there are T translations, but I am not able to count them, but I cannot complete counting them, but I am unable to complete the counting of them. And what will I say? All the translations are okay in spirit. Okay. That's my answer. But if you ask me to choose what will I pick, I will say, but I am not able to count them. That's good enough for me because that conveys the sense cleanly and clearly. If you want, see, if you're looking purely from a Sanskrit exercise perspective, it may make sense to do unable to complete counting. So you understand what clearly dhatu means. You have better clarity. Okay. Now, this actually is nijanta. You had to also bring a causative meaning. I cannot cause the counting to be completed. You can go one step further, okay? No problem. But what you do is up to you. Meaning-wise, I'm saying all three are good. Is that clear? Okay. Second one. Now, what is the Vigraha Vakya for Srimad Bhagavad Gita? Honestly, I didn't think about it, okay, till now. I don't think I thought about it. So, there may be more to add to this. I'll look into it more, but I think what I'm saying will be okay. Start with. Now, Srimad Bhagavad Gita. In that, this Srimad is one word. Bhagavat is another word. Gita is a third word. Three words are involved. In compound, what do we do? First, we'll split two. Srimad Bhagavataha Gita. That will be what? Tatpurusa. Okay. Now, what is Srimad Bhagavataha? Srimad Bhagavataha. The compound involved is Srimad Bhagavat. Okay. Which will say, Vigraha Vakya will what? Shriman Bhagavan. Or Shriman cha asau Bhagavan. Correct. And that will become what? Srimad Bhagavan. And what compound is that? Karma. All right. Now, that Srimad Bhagavan, Tasya Geetam, should be Tasya Geetam typically. Song is called Geetam typically in Sanskrit. Okay. That would become what? Srimad Bhagavataha Geetam. Shashti Tatpurusa. And what should it become? Srimad Bhagavat Geetam. But that's not the word. What do you have? Bhagavad Gita. From what I have heard, typically because of the Shruti being feminine, Smriti is also placed in feminine. So you get Geetam becomes Gita. Okay. Now, if you went and looked in the Ashtadhyayi, you'll see what happens. Gita. What does it say? Giyate sma.
Swamiji, not shared.
Giyate sma. Huh? Or it didn't share it, is it? Okay, give me a second. It says Giyate sma. Now, what should you know about this? Suppose something happened long ago. What lakara should you use? Something happened long ago.
Lit.
Lit. Parokshe lit. Correct. So now, what should you say? You should know now what is the word for, lit lakara and gai dhatu, which you may not know. Simple way is you use lat lakara, but you add a word sma. Giyate sma means what? Sang long ago. Was sung long ago. And what is that? Atma Vidyopadeshatmika Brahma Tattvopadeshamayi Katha Yatra. See, Geetam can be taken as just ku-gati-praadi in the meaning of karma. Sung. What was sung? Or singing. Ganam is Geetam. Now, if I am saying generally Patita, Patita, Patitam are all okay. Therefore, Geeta, Geeta, Geetam should all be okay. Geetaha, Geetam, Geeta. They're all okay. But they mean was sung. And typically what is sung is said as Geetam. Here what the dictionary maker has done is he's saying, if you look, he's using adhikarana vyutpatti to derive. He's saying, Giyate sma yatra. Giyate yatra is the vigraha. Giyate yatra, kai plus ta. Where it is sung, in which it is sung, and that is Gita. Therefore, what is it? Grantha Visheshaha. Bhagavad Gita iti khyata. So you can see our ancestors have a lot of creativity. So kta pratyaya can be used as the karanartha also. So what did he do? He cleverly said, why just giyate iti Gita? Giyate iti Gita is karmani vyutpatti. He said giyate yatra. Kutra? In that Mahabharata. And it is not now. Therefore, it said giyate sma. But finally, what happened? Now, the word Gita, you cannot use generally for anything you like. If I say there is Gita class, what will you understand? Will you understand something? I'm teaching you singing? Gita class? No. What will you understand? Will you think I'm teaching you what Ashtavakra Gita? It could be. What will you understand?
Bhagavad.
What does it mean? Means the word Gita has got Rudhi. Rudhi Artha. Understand what is Rudhi Artha now? Rudhi means what is commonly associated. See, every word is Rudhita. Why do you call a clock a clock? Because we all choose to call a clock. It's become a habit now. Hand. Why hand? Manus. That's etymological. Manipulate. Manus is hand. But hand, I don't know which language it comes from. Whether it has etymology, I don't know. Maybe it does. But the point is, finally, after all the exercise you do, a word you and I have to understand the same way. So if I say Gita, you should understand Gita. This is called Rudhi. Etymological meaning, based on the origin of the word, dhatu, etc., is called Vyutpatti Artha. Vyutpatti Artha, other one is Rudhi Artha. So each of us has a name. So I've said Deepti, Chitra, Shailaja, Partha. What are all these? Rudhi. It is Rudhi. Now, Partha has a meaning of Prithoho Apatyam Puman. Now, here Partha's mother may not be called Prithu. His mother's name may be different. But what is the meaning? Partha is Rudhi. Partha means this person. Partha Dhar. That's what it means. Shailaja means what? Born of a hill or born on a hill. I don't know whether Shailaja is born on a hill. Okay. Priyanka means what? One whose limbs are beautiful, dear to me. So, are these the meanings now? Is this person born on a hill? Is she the one with beautiful limbs? That's not our meaning. Our meaning is Priyanka means this person. Shailaja means this person. Partha means this person. Therefore, this is called Rudhyartha. Now, if the way he's taken it there, he's saying Gita is Rudhyartha for Bhagavad Gita. And what is Gita's etymological meaning? He says where it is sung. What is sung? This dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna. Okay. So I don't know if you intended all these in your question, but I'm expanding your question to make it more clear, because it gives an opportunity to show you what all is possible. Okay. So go back to that. I'm just saying, you can see he's taken Gita as Strilinga. And I remember this, that why it is Gita and not Geetam, Puja Swami used to say, because Smriti follows Shruti. Shruti, the word is Strilinga. Therefore, Gita being Smriti becomes Strilinga. This is what he used to say. But I have not found another place where it's said in so many words. It must be there somewhere, but I don't know where it is. I have Shraddha in Swamiji. If he so, it must be right. This must be the tradition. Therefore, Geetam became Gita. Now, Bhagavataha Gita. So I'm just telling you, contextually, if you look at language, I can interpret differently. I can say Bhagavata Gita. That which is sung by Bhagavan. I can make Kartari Titiya. But that does not seem to be its taken. Because then I should do what? I should see whether that kind of compounding is allowed. You remember what is Tritiya? There are certain words only which can be compounded, not everything. So you have to see whether it's allowed or not. Whereas Shashti Tatpurusa is safe. Therefore, Bhagavataha Geetam or Bhagavataha Gita, Bhagavad Gita is good. So you can see how much is involved if you try to get to the nitty-gritty. And I'm saying all this is still open-ended, okay? More research may dig out some things more. We don't know. Yes, Priyanka.
In the dictionary, it also said, I think in Apte, that Gita is just a verse sung about.
That is called Rudhyartha.
Okay.
Okay. I guess I let me see. Give me a second, okay? Okay, where's my Zoom? Yes. Okay. Share screen. Is this what you had in mind? A name given to certain sacred writings in verse?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can see, as soon as he gives a name given. What does it mean? Rudhi. Okay. And what did he say? Karmanikta. Understand this now? Are you able to follow this? Means Giyate iti Gita. That's what he's doing. That's what he means. But what did Shabda Kalpadruma do? Shabda Kalpadruma took it as Yatra Gaikta, not Karmanikta, Adhikaranekta.
So when they do Karmanikta, then after that they also converted to Strilinga.
Now,
Because it's Gita.
Karmanikta, when you do, there is no rule it should be only pulling.
Right.
But you know what? If you meant an adjective Gita, then you have to supply to me a feminine word which it qualifies. For example, pustakam patitam. Katham patitam? Pustakam is neuter. Manushyaha patitam. Read a man. Mukhaha. Mukham patitam. Face is right. Masculine. Feminine. Neuter. Right? But if I use some feminine word, lipi. I don't know if lipi is feminine. Pandulipi, lipi. A manuscript. Patita, I could say. Now, what is patita? An adjective. What will its gender be? Based on what it qualifies. Now, do you want Gita to be an adjective or do you want it to be a noun? That's the problem. If you just say karmanikta, Gita is okay. But do you mean it's an adjective or do you mean it's a noun? If you mean a noun, then what is a noun? Tell me. Therefore, I said Geetam is a song as a noun. All right. So, karmanikta is okay. But then typically, Rudyartha you'll get is Geetam. So, if you go back to update and look for Gita, not Gita, Gita, you will find what you will see. There you will find song and say Geetam. Good. I'm happy with your looking up updates. It's good. More you look, more you find. Okay. All right. Then there was another question about this, stha. Matsthani. Matstha. How did stha become stha? This we will cover when we talk of something called Upapada Tatpurusha. Not yet reached, okay? Another big topic. What happens, just so you know, is this. When you have a samasa, if I say Mayi Tishtati, Mayi Tishtati. Mayi is Asmat Shabda. Asmat gets replaced by Mat. Okay? And then Matstha it should become based on Upapada Tatpurusha. But then what happens? That A in Stha goes away. And you get Matstha. One A gets added separately. So you get Matstha. And that Matstha in masculine become Matstha. If it's feminine, it become Matstha. If it's neutral, it become Matstham. This is called Upada Tatpurusha. So in Upada Tatpurusha, the Stha Dhatu will become Stha. That keep in mind. It is different from Sthita. Sthita did not become Stha. Sthita remains Sthita. They're all a little beyond the scope, okay, at this point. Hard to explain everything. But that's what happens. But in general, when Stha is involved, Upada Tatpurusha, it becomes Stha. Kutastha, Vishamastha, Matstha, Vipattaustha, etc. Possible. Several things are there. Okay?
Why was it neuter here? Matsthani.
Sarva Bhutani.
Bhuta is
Bhutani. Something has to see. If two words have different gender, sometimes you cannot change the gender. You have to keep them same. You have to keep them in different gender. Like Ganapatir Devata. Where you can, if both are different genders, you convert one to the other gender. Which one you convert, you have a choice at times. Whether you convert this side or that side. You can make that into this or this into that. But typically, you make the adjective follow the noun. Sarva Bhutani, where are they? What's Mayi Sthitani? The Vigraha Vakya will be Mayi Sthitani. But really, you know what it is? Mayi Tishtanti iti Matsthaha. Tani Matsthani. See, explanation can be given as Mayi Sthitani. But that should have been Matsthitani, not Matsthani. So there can be certain looseness when we explain away. But if you're giving a technical Vigraha Vakya, it has to be different. Okay? Samasa, there's a lot more to chew. It's a big story. You will get a good feel now. You know, Tatpurusha, when we finish, you will have good feel for Tatpurusha. Dvandva, there's not much to do. Vei Bhaval, not much to do. So, Bahuvrihi, we have some work. We'll see. Okay. But I'm hoping now you'll at least, when you see a Samasa, you'll understand something more about it. All right. We start. So I've left it in the same recording, so you don't have to split it out. Okay. It's just at the end of the class. You can find it there.